You sit in the conference room watching the presentation slides blur slightly as you try to focus on the quarterly review. You know this material. You've been in this industry for years, maybe decades. You've led teams, solved complex problems, made decisions that others couldn't. But today, the words seem to just float out of reach, and you find yourself nodding along while internally scrambling to piece together thoughts that used to come so naturally. If this sounds achingly familiar, you're not alone, and what you're experiencing is part of a workplace crisis that's costing the American economy $1.8 billion annually, while devastating women's careers during what should be their most influential years. Welcome back to part 2 of our 5-part series on the hidden menopause crisis in America. I'm here with The Power of Little, where we believe that small shifts can create big change without the hustle, without the pressure, and where understanding how you arrived in your current season can be exactly what you need to take the next step forward. Yesterday, we talked about the $26.6 billion economic impact of untreated menopause symptoms and the brain fog that affects 75% of women in midlife. Today, we're diving deeper into the workplace crisis that's hiding in plain sight, the silent struggle of brilliant, experienced women who are questioning their professional abilities when they should be stepping into their greatest leadership potential. If you missed yesterday's video about the brain fog crisis, I'll link it in the description below. And if this series is helping you feel less alone in your professional journey, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Your support helps me reach more women who desperately need to hear this message. Here's a statistic that should make every CEO in America take immediate notice. Women leaders are leaving organizations at the highest rate ever recorded. For every woman promoted to director level, 2 women directors are leaving their companies. This isn't just about career pivots or lifestyle changes. This is about women in their prime professional years, women with 25, 30 years of experience, feeling forced to step back from leadership roles they've spent decades building toward. The timing isn't coincidental. These departures peak precisely when women are most likely to be navigating perimenopause and menopause, typically between the ages of 45 and 55. The very years when their experience, judgment, and leadership capabilities should be most valued become the years when untreated symptoms make professional demands feel overwhelming. Think about this for a minute. These aren't entry-level professionals figuring out their careers. These are women who've broken barriers, navigated glass ceilings, developed expertise during periods of rapid technological change, and possess the perfect combination of experience and contemporary knowledge to guide organizations through current challenges. Think about the institutional knowledge walking out the door. Think about the mentorship that won't happen, the client relationships built over decades, the strategic thinking developed through real-world experience. This isn't just a women's issue. It's an economic catastrophe hiding in plain sight. 75% of women experience brain fog and cognitive difficulties that directly impair their job performance. Memory issues affect concentration during meetings, presentations, and complex problem solving. Processing speed decreases, making quick decision-making more challenging, and multitasking becomes noticeably more difficult, especially under pressure. 90% of menopausal women report reduced productivity at work. 45% take sick days, specifically due to menopause symptoms. And 13% face adverse work outcomes, like job changes, early retirement, and declining promotions. Many begin avoiding leadership opportunities they would have previously pursued with confidence. Let me share a message I received from a follower of mine on Instagram. She's been with her organization for 15 years, and she's suddenly feeling incapable of solving problems she used to solve with little effort. She was the person that everyone else came to when they needed an innovative perspective. She was known for seeing solutions that others missed, for connecting dots across departments, and anticipating challenges before they became problems. Now, she's struggling to follow simple conversations in meetings. She told me she no longer trusts her own brain and feels like she's disappearing professionally, becoming invisible in rooms where she used to be a strong voice. The devastating thing is that her story is far from unique. Brilliant, successful women in all professions, and women who stay at home and carry tremendous invisible loads that nobody else recognizes, are navigating this part of their lives thinking something is fundamentally wrong with them, when actually they're experiencing the effects of a biological transition that affects cognitive function in predictable, measurable, and often temporary ways. If that resonates with you, if you've been declining opportunities or pulling back from challenges that you would have embraced before this transition, I need you to hear this. Your professional value hasn't diminished. Your expertise hasn't evaporated. Your judgment hasn't failed. You're experiencing temporary cognitive changes that can often be treated and managed effectively. Let's talk about what this workplace struggle actually looks like in a daily professional life, because the statistics only tell part of the story. Maybe you recognize yourself in some of these moments. You're in a strategy session with your team, and suddenly you can't follow the thread of conversation. Words that should trigger immediate associations feel foreign, like you're hearing them through fog. You find yourself buying time with phrases like, "That's an interesting point," or "Let me think about that," while your brain scrambles to catch up, wondering if everyone can tell you're lost in a conversation you should be leading. Here's another one. Standing in front of the board, you feel that heat rising up your neck just as you reach the most critical slide of your presentation. Your carefully prepared talking points evaporate as you try to manage both the hot flash and the content, knowing that any visible discomfort will be noted and potentially misinterpreted as lack of preparation or confidence in your own material. Or maybe crafting responses to emails that used to flow easily now requires multiple drafts. You find yourself second-guessing word choices, forgetting to include crucial attachments, or losing track of complex email threads that span multiple decisions and stakeholders. Tasks that used to take minutes now take hours. Here's another one I call innovation drain. Those moments of creative insight, the aha connections that make you feel valuable as a strategic thinker, seem to happen less frequently. It's not that you've lost your intelligence or creativity. It's that the hormonal changes affecting your brain make those cognitive leaps more elusive, like trying to catch butterflies in thick fog. Perhaps most devastating of all, you begin to question abilities that you've relied on for decades. The uncertainty about when symptoms will strike makes you hesitant to volunteer for high visibility projects or speak up in meetings where you used to be a confident, respected contributor. One of the worst aspects, in my opinion, of this workplace crisis is its impact on leadership development and organizational knowledge retention. We're not just talking about individual women struggling. We're talking about a systemic loss of experienced leadership at the exact moment when organizations need seasoned judgment and diverse perspectives most. Women who've spent 20 or 30 years building expertise, developing judgment, earning credibility, and learning to navigate complex organizational dynamics are stepping back just as they reach their peak potential for transformational impact. This represents a catastrophic loss of human capital, not just for individual women, but for organizations, industries, and society as a whole. When experienced women leave leadership roles, they take with them not just their own capabilities, but their potential to mentor and develop the next generation of leaders. The wisdom gained from decades of experience, the ability to guide younger professionals through challenges, the modeling of resilience and strategic thinking, all of this walks out the door. Organizations that have invested decades and significant resources in building diverse leadership pipelines watch that progress evaporate as women in their peak career years feel forced to step back just as they're positioned to make their greatest contributions. Research consistently shows that diverse leadership teams outperform homogeneous ones in innovation, problem solving, and financial performance. The unique perspectives and problem-solving approaches that come from diverse leadership teams diminish when experienced women can't maintain their professional momentum through this transition. This breaks my heart because many of the women stepping back are Gen X and early millennial professionals who broke barriers, shattered glass ceilings, developed skills during periods of rapid technological change, and they possess exactly the combination of experience and contemporary knowledge that organizations desperately need to navigate current challenges. Their departure creates a leadership vacuum that affects entire industries, entire sectors of our economy, and the next generation of women who need role models and mentors. What makes this workplace impact so particularly challenging is how menopause symptoms intersect with the exact capabilities that professional success requires. It's like having the tools for success suddenly become unreliable when you need them most. Complex problem solving and strategic planning require clear thinking and the ability to hold multiple variables in mind simultaneously. But brain fog creates moments of mental cloudiness that can undermine confidence in high-stakes situations where clear thinking is essential. Executive and leadership roles often require sustained energy, sharp decision-making throughout long days, and the ability to maintain composure under pressure. But the sleep disturbances common in menopause create a constant state of fatigue that compounds other symptoms and affects judgment. Leading teams effectively requires emotional regulation, consistent communication, and the ability to inspire confidence and trust. But hormonal fluctuations can create irritabilities, emotional volatility, or mood swings that feel unprofessional and difficult to control in workplace settings. Presenting to clients, boards, shareholders, or large teams becomes anxiety-provoking when you can't predict when a hot flash might strike during a critical moment, adding performance anxiety to an already challenging symptom and potentially affecting your professional presence. Professional roles often require tracking numerous details, deadlines, commitments, and complex projects simultaneously. But the memory challenges that can accompany menopause make this mental juggling act feel impossible, and they can affect reliability and follow-through. Here's what's crucial to understand. These aren't character flaws, professional inadequacies, or signs that you're getting too old for your job. These are temporary symptoms of a biological transition that affects specific cognitive functions in predictable ways. With proper support and often treatment, 60 to 80% of women see significant improvement in these symptoms. That means the career challenges you're experiencing aren't permanent limitations on your professional future. They're temporary obstacles that can be addressed with the right support, understanding, and medical care. I want to speak directly to every woman watching this who has been questioning her professional capabilities, wondering if she's losing her edge, considering stepping back from opportunities she's worked decades to earn, or feeling like she's failing in a career that once felt natural and fulfilling. Your professional value hasn't diminished. Your expertise hasn't evaporated, and your judgment, it hasn't failed. Your decades of experience, your hard-won skills, your professional instincts, your ability to see patterns and solve problems, none of these disappear because of hormonal fluctuations during a natural life transition. They may be temporarily clouded, like trying to navigate familiar territory in a fog, but they remain intact, valuable, and essential to your organization and industry. The research is clear that with proper treatment and support, most women see significant improvement in cognitive symptoms. The power of little approach to workplace challenges during menopause isn't about dramatic confrontations with HR, major career overhauls, or demanding accommodations that make you feel vulnerable. It's about small, strategic steps that can make a meaningful difference while you navigate this transition. Document your patterns. Understanding when your symptoms are most challenging helps you advocate for yourself more effectively and make strategic decisions about when to schedule important meetings or tackle complex projects. Consider gentle disclosure. You don't owe anyone your medical information, but sometimes trusted colleagues or supervisors can provide support if they understand what you're experiencing without needing all the details. Explore workplace resources. Many companies now offer support that you might not be aware of. Flexible work arrangements, comprehensive health benefits, employee assistance programs, or wellness initiatives that could help you during this transition. The workplace landscape around menopause is beginning to shift, driven by both the economic reality of losing experienced talent and growing awareness of women's health issues as business imperatives rather than just personal challenges. Forward-thinking companies are developing flexible work arrangements during symptom management, including temperature-controlled workspaces, flexible scheduling, and modified travel requirements. Comprehensive healthcare benefits that specifically include menopause treatment and specialist care. Employee resource groups focused on midlife transitions and women's health that provide community and advocacy. Manager training on supporting employees through health transitions without discrimination or judgment. And wellness programs that specifically address menopause symptoms, stress management, and treatment options. These changes represent a recognition that supporting women through natural life transitions isn't just ethical, it's essential for competitive advantage in talent markets. Organizations that fail to support women through this transition, while competitors do, will find themselves at a significant disadvantage in recruiting and retaining experienced talent. And in 3 days, the FDA panel we've been discussing could remove barriers to treatment that would help millions of women maintain their professional momentum through this transition. This isn't just about individual health. It's about organizational productivity, innovation capacity, and economic impact at a national level. When women can access effective treatment, workplace outcomes improve dramatically. Cognitive function often returns to premenopause levels, productivity increases, leadership capacity is restored, and innovation potential is maintained. Tomorrow, we'll explore perhaps the most heartbreaking aspect of untreated menopause, the relationship toll. We'll discuss statistics nobody talks about, how the very years that challenge us professionally are also straining our most important personal relationships. We'll examine how the same hormonal changes affecting your workplace performance are also impacting your relationships, your sense of self, your family dynamics, and your most intimate connections, and why understanding this connection is crucial for comprehensive support. The statistics around menopause and divorce rates will shock you, but more importantly, we'll explore why love alone isn't enough when symptoms go untreated, what that means for family stability during this transition, and how understanding the full impact can lead to better support for everyone involved. We'll also discuss how the isolation and self-doubt you may be experiencing professionally often extends into personal relationships, creating a compound effect that touches every area of life, and why addressing this holistically matters for your overall well-being and the people who love you. For today, if you're struggling professionally during this transition, I want you to remember something important. You're not failing. You're navigating a significant biological change while trying to maintain professional excellence. And that actually requires tremendous strength, resilience, and capability. The challenges you're facing highlight the urgent need for better workplace support, healthcare access, and understanding of this natural life transition. Your experience matters, your voice matters, your career matters. The expertise you've built over decades matters to your organization, your industry, and the women coming up behind you. If this resonated with you, I'd love for you to subscribe for the rest of this critical series and hit that notification bell. Visit poweroflittle.com for workplace-specific resources and gentle support strategies. Share this with a colleague who might be struggling silently. Your sharing could be the lifeline that someone needs. Consider how you might advocate for better menopause support in your own workplace, even in small ways. The fog you're experiencing doesn't define your professional worth. It highlights the urgent need for better support, understanding, and systemic change. You have decades of valuable experience that your organization and industry desperately need. With the right support and possibly treatment, you can continue to contribute at the highest levels and help create workplaces that support all women through natural transitions. You're not disappearing professionally. You're not becoming irrelevant. You're navigating a transition that millions of brilliant women have faced. And with understanding, support, and advocacy, we can create workplaces that value and support women through all seasons of their careers, rather than penalizing them for experiencing natural biological changes. Tomorrow, we'll explore how these same challenges affect your most intimate relationships and what that means for the people you love most. Until then, be gentle with yourself professionally. You're doing something incredibly challenging, maintaining career momentum and excellence through a major biological transition, and that deserves recognition, respect, and support, not criticism or self-doubt. Thanks for watching part 2 of this crucial series. Don't forget to subscribe, visit poweroflittle.com for resources, and share this series with women who need to hear this message. Your voice and experience matter in creating the change that we desperately need.